So you're thinking about moving to Northwest Raleigh. Well, here's everything you need to know, the pros and the cons about living here from a local's perspective. For this video, we're defining Northwest Raleigh as seen on the map here. This is the area closest to the airport on the Raleigh side of the triangle. And this is where I call home. Hi, I'm Ben. I'm a local real estate agent and investor helping buyers and sellers navigate the Raleigh area. To me, the most obvious pro of living in Northwest Raleigh is the peace and quiet that you get from the suburban lifestyle that Northwest Raleigh offers. Many would consider Northwest Raleigh a very family-friendly environment, more laid back than other parts of the triangle, and yet it still has an incredible location proximity to all the best schools. This is about the closest you can get to the airport and to RTP within Raleigh. And if you don't know, RTP is the Research Triangle Park. This is our economic hub here in the triangle, sandwiched between Raleigh and Durham. It's where all the jobs are. So historically, that tends to be the hottest area of our market. That's where the appreciation on the homes tends to be the strongest. You have almost immediate access to not only the airport, but RTP, a bunch of shopping centers, making travel very convenient. The main part of Northwest Raleigh kind of looks like a slice of pizza. There's three main roads that you need to be aware of. First is 540 up here at the north. This is what we call our outer belt. Kind of zooming out here, you can see that it's almost a complete circle around Raleigh and then some. They're almost done completing that loop. On the inside, we have the inner belt, and this is surrounding downtown Raleigh. Now, depending on where you are in Northwest Raleigh, you're probably going to be using these two main roads a lot. Highway 50 runs north to south. This is Creedmoor Road. And if you keep looking on the map, it takes you all the way up into Falls Lake State Recreation Area. If you're checking out the area, I definitely recommend going there for a day on the lake. Super fun. Now here where these two roads meet and they run into Interstate 440, the inner belt, this is a big shopping center. It's called Crabtree Valley. We have the Crabtree Mall, which is the largest mall in the triangle. So there's a lot of shopping and dining options, hotels, and you'll find some corporate offices too. So there's some job opportunities there as well. That's a big hotspot, and you're also going to get the most amount of traffic during peak hours, frankly, even off-peak hours. So if you are commuting down into downtown Raleigh, for example, that's something to be aware of. Now, Highway 70 here, this is Glenwood Avenue, and this has a lot more shopping and dining options sprinkled throughout than Creedmoor does. But off of Glenwood, you'll find a Target and a Lowe's and a movie theater and a bowling alley and a lot of that kind of stuff. Panera Bread, which I go to all the time. And you'll notice that it takes you directly to the airport. So depending on where you are in Northwest Raleigh, you'll probably take Glenwood straight to the airport and you're there within 5 to 8 minutes. Now let's talk about schools in Northwest Raleigh. If you've been doing a little bit of homework, then you might know that the school district that serves Raleigh, which is Wake County School District, this is one of the better school districts in North Carolina. It's ranked number 7 in the state according to niche.com. We get a lot of families moving into the area and they want to have good schools for their kids or for their future kids. I'm using this tool provided by the Wake County Public School System. So this is an interactive map that I'll put a link to in the description where you can sort by elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools to view the individual zones of each school in the Raleigh area. Now to kind of break down the color code system here, these darker blue triangles represent normal public schools, and then you have these light blue triangles which represents year-round schools. And that's something that I think is really exciting, that a lot of parents actually prefer, that Raleigh offers, allowing kids to stay educated all throughout the year but have less of a workload on them on a daily and weekly basis. A lot of parents love going that route, and so that'll also kind of factor into where you want to be. You'll notice here in the main part of Northwest Raleigh, there are no year-round schools. In fact, you don't see any year-round schools until you head north of 540 here, up into this area here. I made a video about the top public and private schools in the Raleigh area, so I'll link to those videos above and in the description. You can check those out after this video. We also have a plethora of colleges and universities here in the triangle. Mainly we have 3 tier 1 universities, highly competitive, highly ranked. So we have NCSU, North Carolina State University in downtown Raleigh, and that's about 15 minutes from the heart of Northwest Raleigh. So if you're a little more on the south side of that, you could be less than 10 minutes away from that college. Now we have Duke University, which pretty much everyone has heard of, over in Durham. From the heart of Northwest Raleigh, you're about 25 minutes to there. And then in Chapel Hill, we have UNC, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, first university in America. Again, highly rated school, and you're about 30 minutes from that. Now, Duke is a private school, but you'll find with the other two that they're public, so they have in-state tuition of about $10,000, $11,000 a year. Super affordable, yet they're consistently producing top talent that's earning top income and supplying our ever-growing job market here in the Triangle. Now, we have jobs in downtown Raleigh, we have jobs in Six Forks, we have jobs in North Hills, which is kind of like our second downtown, so to speak, in Raleigh. There's jobs sprinkled throughout the Triangle, there's remote jobs, but RTP is the heart. It's our economic hub, so being close to that is a pro for many, many reasons. Specific jobs that you might have in RTP, we're well known for research. It is the nation's largest research park. We're known for tech, we're known for IT, we're known for healthcare, and of course, we're known for education because of those universities, because of our great school system. We are also the state's capital, so there are some government jobs in addition to all the other sectors that I mentioned. Now, because of proximity to work, desirable location, people who live there on average earn more than other parts of Raleigh, more than the median for the city, and the home prices are going to be higher as well. So there's some pros and cons in there that we're about to get into. The median home price in Northwest Raleigh is $485,000. And if we filter by specifically detached single-family homes, which is what most people probably are looking for, that actually jumps way up to $700,000. Just a few months ago, kind of in the spring, that was around $600,000. We are in the heat of summer, which is when real estate tends to be most expensive. So kind of take that with a grain of salt. But even at $600,000, that's about $150,000 more than the median home price across all of Raleigh. So you're definitely paying a premium to be in this part of the Triangle. And what you'll find, another con, is that a lot of the houses, the majority, are going to be on the older side. If you're wanting a new construction home, then you're going to want to head north of 540. There's a lot more land up there, but the homes are going to go for much higher than the median home price for Northwest Raleigh. I'm talking as low as $600,000 up into the several $1,000,000. So you're going to get a lot more land. Some of these look like mini mansions. Some of these have, mother-in-law separate guest houses. But if you want affordable new construction in Northwest Raleigh, you're just not really going to find it, to be honest. Your best bet is to head into Northeast Raleigh, to head into Durham up by RTP, or you head into other parts of the Triangle, and that's a whole separate video. So you will be paying more to live in Northwest Raleigh. The homes on average are going to be older. If you were to do a search and filter for homes that were 2015 or newer, the starting price would be about $800,000 right now. Now, if you really want to be in this location, because it is a great location, but you're struggling with the budget side of things, you could do what me and my wife did. So we actually found a 3-bed, 2-bath home in a nice part of the area, great location, but it was 1984. It was original condition. We put a lot of work into it. Some of those videos are here on the channel. We got it for $362,000. So way, way under the median price for the area. And we've already probably turned it into a $450,000 house. Now, if you're looking at renting, you got some great options. The median rent is about $1,500. There's a whole plethora of apartments. There's townhomes galore that you could rent out. Single family homes are gonna be $2,000 or more a month on average. But that would be a great way to test the area, see if you like it. And then once you've done that lease, you don't wanna keep paying rent forever. You get with your guy, Ben, figure out your budget, and go find a home. Okay, next, let's talk about nature. So one pro about Northwest Raleigh, and this is true for most of the Triangle, we have a lot of green spaces, we have parks, we have lakes. So here in Northwest Raleigh, we have 2 lakes that serve nearby communities. So there's some apartment homes and some townhomes and single family homes on the lake. This would be Lake Lynn and Lake Shelley. They're both beautiful with a nice, wooden trail around the lake that you can walk, take your dog, hang out with some friends. We talked about Falls Lake to the north of this area, which is a huge natural lake. On the west side off of Glenwood, we have my favorite place in the Triangle, which is Umstead State Park. So this is a place with tons of trails right by the airport, but they've done an incredible job of maintaining this space. It has lakes, it has picnic tables and camping, and people are out biking, super active. Raleigh in general is very green. It's very wooded. We're called the city of oaks for a reason. And I like that there's shade everywhere. So even in the summer when it's on the hotter side, we still have kind of that shade, making it possible to go for a morning, afternoon walk. And in general, you'll find that the neighborhoods here are very family friendly, very walkable, great for taking out your dog or pushing the kiddo in a stroller. One thing that's kind of harder to find in Northwest Raleigh than other parts of the Triangle, especially in the lower price range, is communities with HOA amenities. So pools, racquetball courts, all that kind of stuff. These are older communities. A lot of them don't have HOAs. The more expensive ones do. We'll talk about that later. One solution is something like Seven Oaks. So that is a big community center that anyone can pay membership to and have access to racquetball and tennis and the swim park and all that kind of stuff. And north of the airport where Glenwood and 540 meet, this area is called Briar Creek. This is kind of the very outer northwest portion of Northwest Raleigh. And we're gonna talk more about that later in the video, but just know this area is very hot for singles. It's very lively, a lot of shopping and dining. It's one of the nicer parts of the Triangle, and it has a very active country club. So you have a real nice master plan community up there at Briar Creek. So if you're into golfing, swimming, you want that kind of lifestyle, we definitely have some options for you here in Northwest Raleigh. By the way, if you're planning a visit to the area, which I highly recommend, that's what me and my wife did when we moved here from Dallas, then definitely reach out to the number below or click the link in the description. Set up a time to chat with me and my team, get you some information, help you and your family get the most out of your visit to Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so let's talk about some of the top neighborhoods in Northwest Raleigh. We're gonna start with Stonehenge. These are well-established homes built in the 2010, 2015 era, so these are going to start at around $800K as of right now, and they can easily go up to $1.2, $1.3 million. Now, it is a nice community. It looks brand new. The homes are massive, nearing 4,000 square feet. It's about dead center in Northwest Raleigh, so you have quick access to pretty much all three of those main roads that we talked about, but enough distance from them that it's a little bit on the secluded side. Next is Leesville. So this serves Leesville Elementary, middle, and high school. We talked about that earlier. And people love living close to school. So if you want your kids to be able to walk to school, if you want to have that proximity to both jobs and top schools, then you probably can't get any better than the Leesville community. And naturally, this area is going to be very family friendly. There's going to be a bunch of parks, green spaces, libraries. Homes start in the low 4s, 5s, with some townhome options as well, with the average home being built in 2000. Now, like I said, Briar Creek is a hot area. They have a lot of newer townhomes that start in the upper 3s and 4s, and there you really can't get any closer to shopping, dining, the airport, RTP. It's really an incredible area of our market. Lastly, if you're looking for maybe an affordable townhome, you want to be close to nature, then off of Glenwood near Umstead State Park, that area tends to have a lot of townhomes on the older side. That's where I've seen a few pop up at 250, 300,000. Again, they might be a 1990, 1995, needing some updating, but that is honestly a great area if you're looking to get into Northwest Raleigh on a budget. Now, let's talk about things to do in Northwest Raleigh. Again, proximity to things to do is very important. It's probably a 5-10 minute drive to most of the shopping, dining hotspots, unless you're in Briar Creek or near some of these areas I'm about to mention. So for example, North Hills, we mentioned earlier, it's like our second downtown. There's a lot of businesses there. There's some nice shopping areas, upscale. You have your Target, your Harris Teeter. Like Briar Creek, that place is very popular with young people. It's also a great place if you want to look for an apartment to rent while you're checking out the area. If you're down there, definitely check out the Cowfish Sushi Burger Bar. They combine burgers and sushi. I mentioned that in other videos, link to that above, but that's a great restaurant that I absolutely enjoy going to, very unique. And then you have Six Forks up by 540, kind of dead center of North Raleigh. And Six Forks is a secondary job market for us, so there are a lot of smaller businesses, PT clinics. We have a lot of healthcare companies sprinkled throughout Raleigh, banks and other types of businesses as well. And then you're gonna find a lot of shopping and dining, kind of like your Target, your Lowe's, your Panera Bread, all that kind of stuff. We talked about Crabtree Valley with the Crabtree Mall, hotels, all those other businesses. Now, if you're looking for nightlife, your best bet is either Briar Creek or North Hills, but you're also only about 10 minutes from downtown. We have a super walkable downtown here in Raleigh. And because the college is there, there's going to be a good amount of younger people in the area. You're also a straight shot into Durham, which is where Duke University is. Durham can be described as more of a college town compared to Raleigh. Same with Chapel Hill. So if you're looking for young people, you're looking to go out and do some fun stuff, go to some bars, those are some great areas to head into as well. In terms of day-to-day stuff, whether it's shopping, getting your hair cut, you're gonna find that there's grocery stores sprinkled all throughout Northwest Raleigh, up and down Creedmoor, and the same with Glenwood, so you're pretty much covered there. We have a lot of Harris Teeters, we have Aldi's, we have Lidl's, and all the other ones. And I heard up near Leesville, we're about to get a Trader Joe's. There's also a Publix there as well. So we definitely have a lot of new developments happening in Northwest Raleigh because again, it's a desirable area. People continue to move here. Prices continue to go up. So as Northwest Raleigh continues to grow, it's definitely going to continue to get developed. And that is one final con that I will leave you with. A lot of the locals will complain and tell you, Raleigh ain't what it used to be. We have too many people moving in. We can't keep up. There's a lot of construction. Hey, I came from Texas. That was the story there as well. But that's all part of being in a growing city. People are moving to our area from all over the US. And the only question you really need to ask yourself now is, will you be next? If the answer is yes to that question, then definitely call the number below when you're ready or click that link in the description. In the meantime, watch one of these videos next to learn more about living in Raleigh.